12 years, 4,380 days of waking up to a storm that never ends. They called her unclean. They said her condition was hopeless. Her money was gone. But what about you? What's the silent storm you've been carrying? The chronic pain no one sees, the secret shame you hide, the financial ruin that keeps you up at night, the prayers that seem to echo into emptiness. What if I told you that the same Jesus who stopped a 12-year storm with a single touch is waiting to step into your longest, hardest battle? This is the story of a woman who had nothing left, no health, no hope, no future. And yet, in one desperate moment of faith, everything changed. If you've ever felt invisible in your suffering, if you've ever wondered whether God sees the storm you're trapped in, then you need to hear what happened when she reached out to touch the hem of his garment. Before we begin, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss these powerful stories of faith and transformation. Now, let me take you back to a dusty road in Galilee, where a woman's world was about to be transformed from chaos to peace. Imagine waking up every single morning, knowing that today will be just like yesterday, and the day before that, and the 4,379 days before that. Her body was broken. But what crushed her soul was the word they whispered when she walked by, unclean. According to the law, her bleeding made her ceremonially impure, and that meant everything she touched became unclean. Every person she brushed against in the marketplace, every chair she sat in, every door she opened. She didn't just carry a disease, she carried contamination. So she learned to disappear, to walk with her head down, to avoid eye contact, to live in the shadows of a society that had no room for her. She had tried everything, doctor after doctor, treatment after treatment. She'd spent every coin she had, sold everything she owned, all for the promise of a cure that never came. Some treatments made her worse. Most just left her poorer and more desperate. After 12 years, she had nothing left. No money, no energy, no hope. The religious leaders said her suffering was a curse, a sign of hidden sin. Her friends stopped visiting. Her family kept their distance. The law said she couldn't enter the temple, couldn't participate in community life, couldn't even touch another human being without making them unclean too. She was a living ghost, breathing but not truly alive, existing but completely alone. Every night she lay in the dark wondering if this was all there was, if she would die this way, forgotten, forsaken, with nothing but regret and isolation to show for her years on earth. But then she heard something, a rumor spreading through the streets, a name that stirred something deep inside her dying heart. Jesus. The whispers turned into shouts. "He's here! Jesus is coming through!" She could hear the commotion from inside her small dwelling, the thunder of footsteps, the crescendo of voices, the electric anticipation charging through the streets. Her heart pounded. This was it, her one chance, maybe her last chance. But when she stepped outside and saw the crowd, her hope nearly died. There were hundreds of them, a sea of bodies pressing, pushing, surging forward. Everyone wanted to see him, touch him, get close to him. And right at the center, she could barely make out his figure, surrounded by his disciples like a fortress. Worse, he was in a hurry. She heard the desperate cries of Jairus, one of the synagogue leaders, pleading with Jesus to come quickly. His daughter was dying. There was no time to stop, no time for interruptions, no time for someone like her. She looked down at her trembling hands, at her ragged clothes. She was so weak. 12 years of bleeding had drained the life from her body. How could she possibly fight through that chaos? And then there was the law. If anyone recognized her in that crowd, if they realized she was making them all unclean by touching them, she could be dragged out, publicly shamed, maybe even stoned. But something stronger than fear rose up inside her, a desperate, reckless faith. If I can just touch his clothes, she thought, just the hem of his garment. I don't need him to see me. I don't need him to know my name. Just one touch. So she stepped into the storm, into the crushing weight of the crowd. Bodies slammed against her weak frame, elbows jabbed, voices shouted, but she kept pushing, clawing, crawling forward. Just a little closer, just one touch. Her fingers stretched out through the mass of bodies, so close now. She could see the edge of his robe swaying as he walked. One more push, one final reach, and then contact. The moment her fingertips brushed the fabric of his garment, everything changed. A surge of power flooded through her body like lightning. The bleeding stopped, instantly, completely. After 4,380 days of suffering, the storm broke in a single heartbeat. She could feel it, the healing spreading through her veins, restoring what had been broken, renewing what had been dead. Tears streamed down her face. It worked. It actually worked. Now she just needed to slip back into the crowd, disappear before anyone noticed, take her miracle and vanish into the "Who touched me?" The voice cut through the noise like a sword. Jesus stopped walking. The entire procession ground to a halt. The crowd fell silent. Her blood ran cold. "Who touched my clothes?" Peter laughed nervously. "Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you, and you ask, 'Who touched me?'" But Jesus wasn't moving. His eyes scanned the crowd. "Someone deliberately touched me. I felt power go out from me." No. This wasn't supposed to happen. She was supposed to be invisible. She was supposed to steal her healing in secret and disappear. But now he was looking, searching, waiting. Her tregs trembled. Her heart hammered against her ribs. Every instinct screamed at her to run, to hide, to deny. But something deeper told her the truth. There was no hiding from him. There never had been. So she stepped forward, fell at his feet, and with a voice breaking with fear and wonder, she confessed everything. The words poured out of her. 12 years of pain, desperation, shame, all laid bare before him and the watching crowd. She told him everything, trembling, waiting for the rebuke she deserved for breaking the law, for making him unclean, for interrupting his urgent mission. But when she finally looked up, she didn't see anger in his eyes. She saw love. Daughter. The word shattered her. Daughter, not woman, not unclean one, not outcast. Daughter. In that single word, he gave her back everything the world had stolen. Identity, belonging, worth, family. Your faith has healed you, he continued, his voice warm and tender. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. Peace. After 12 years of chaos, he spoke peace over her life. The storm that had raged for so long finally, fully, completely stilled. She stood on shaking legs, but this time not from weakness, from overwhelming grace. The crowd that had once felt like a suffocating barrier now parted like a sea. The warm light of acceptance replaced the cold shadows of rejection. She was no longer the woman hiding in shame. She was a daughter, publicly restored, walking in freedom. And here's the truth that changes everything. The same Jesus who stopped for her is stopping for you right now. Whatever storm you've been carrying, however long you've been bleeding, broken or bound, he sees you. You don't have to hide your pain. You don't have to steal your healing in secret. You can come to him openly, honestly, desperately. Reach out, touch the hem of his garment through your faith, your prayers, your surrender. Because no storm is too strong for God. No suffering is too old. No soul is too broken. He's calling you daughter. He's calling you son. Will you answer? Like, comment, and subscribe to support this channel for more stories of hope and faith. Thank you, and God bless you. Until next time.